Coaches, parents, sprint hurdlers, we are out here for hurdles practice today. We're going over the basics for hurdle technique. All right, it is the same whether the hurdle is 12 inches or 25 inches or 42 inches. All right, the movement is straight up and straight down. All right, you dorsiflex the ankles and you swing the arms as if you're sprinting down a track with no hurdles in the way. All right, so we're going to take a look here at some walkovers. Then we will look at some marching popovers so you can see that the movement is exactly the same. Questions, comments, let me know. Run faster, make them chase you. All right, now continuing on from the last video when we talked about hurdle technique and walkovers and marching popovers. The movement is always the same, straight up, straight down. Now we're gonna take a closer look at exactly what I mean. All right. We got a little baby hurdle here at 30 inches. And what I'm trying to do is teach my body this position, all right, right here on top of the hurdle. And so I will take this position back here through my last step. Oh, so this is what I train for, to move through here. All right, not to do this and kick out to the hurdle. That's not it. All right, it's here, and at full speed, the body reacts over the hurdle. And that's why you do all of the hurdle drills. All right, so you can imagine good technique like lifting your foot up on top of a soda can and crushing it because you step straight down off the hurdle. It's not a kick up and over, all right? It's a lift the leg up. As the hips clear, you drive straight down, all right? And so this is the movement that you have to perfect. Straight up, straight down, regardless of the height of the hurdle. So this is 30 inches. Right, the movement is right there. Right. We go on up to 36 inches. And it's the same exact thing. Right. So the movement is right here. Up, on off the hurdle. Right. Now we go on up to 39 inches. And it's the same thing. Same exact thing. Knee up, foot dorsiflex and under. And what you're trying to do is get this position on top of the hurdle. And so what happens as the hurdle increases in height is now you have to exaggerate through the trail leg. All right, so when it's nice and low at 30 inches, it's just here. And the foot stays flat. And you walk down. As the hurdle height goes up, the only change is now we get to the tiptoes, boom, and we finish the extension through the hurdle. That's the only change. And so your job when you perfect the one-step drill is to perfect that movement at full speed without having to think about it, without having to try to make the movement. And that's when you're ready to start reacting over at full speed. All right, so 42 inches, and it's the same thing. All right, so my job is to develop the ability to keep this foot planted on the ground through the toes and get this foot on top of the hurdle. And then as soon as the heel clears, it's driving back down to the track, all right? And that is how you perfect your hurdle technique. All right, that is the absolute best drill on planet Earth for perfecting your hurdle drill. And you can start with one hurdle. All right, so perfect this movement 1,000 times if you only have one hurdle. So here's how we would do it. Drop it down to a distance where you're not gonna have to, or a height where you're not gonna have to worry about the technique and whether it's right or wrong. Make sure it's right. So lower it low enough so that you know it's right. So we got 30 inches here. Practice this movement. You only got one hurdle, you can still get it done, all right? The movement is here, all right? The movement is here. And as the hurdle goes up, this is what changes, the extension into the hurdle, all right? Questions, comments, let me know. Run faster, make them chase you.
Long live the idols, may they never be your rivals. Papa's like Jesus. Please forgive me. Work to the preacher.
All right, coaches, we're taking a look at speed training. All right, this video is going to cover speed training. All right, and how we're going to go developing it this season. So this is a look at the 100-meter dash. All right, from beginning to the end, it's 100% intensity. And there are two races in which this is the case. That is the 100-meter dash and the 100 and the 110-meter hurdles. Both are run along the straightaway. And in both races, your foot is on the gas from beginning to end. You never ease up, you never settle, you never throttle down. All right? And so let's look at how it unfolds. All right, it starts with the first 30 meters. The first 30 meters comes down to your angle leaving the blocks and your release from the blocks. And so there's a skill involved in releasing from the blocks. And improving that skill is going to help you all the way through 30 meters if the angle is there. All right. Now, there's a lot of ways to cue this and teach this. And I find the easiest way is to chase gravity. So you chase gravity first. So it feels like your torso is driving down into the track for 30 meters. So you're fighting that. And it feels ballistic. When you do it right, it feels very ballistic. All right. And so that takes you to 30, where the physics of it all starts standing you up. All right. And so now at this stage in the race, what you're trying to do is prevent a full standing up. All right. So you get this exaggerated angle going down into the track through 30. You're fighting it. It's perfect. It's accelerating. And then you're starting to stand up. And if you stand up too much, you won't be able to get to max speed. Instead, it'll be an effort all the way to the finish line. And that means you didn't reach top speed. All right. So you have to learn the subtle art of transitioning here. And it's not, something that you teach with drills. It's learning to relax out of this phase. So this is drive with that angle. Let it take you as far down the track as possible. Now it's standing you up. Don't let it stand you up too much. And what happens if you find that good angle and you stay on 100% intensity is you lose control at about 50 or 55 meters. And this is max speed. So all of this effort is an attempt to reach max speed. Max speed occurs when you feel that you've run out of energy. So you hit a wall here and you've used up all of your energy and the body relaxes and the rhythm takes over. Now that is max speed, and you hold that for about 10 meters. So from about 55 to 65 meters, all right? Or we can say from 50 meters to 60 meters if you're not as highly trained, all right? Now at 60 meters, you run out of gas completely, all right? So you held this max speed, you lose control of your legs. In that split second, it's a prayer. All right. You think to yourself, dear God, please don't let me fall. And that is when you're at max speed because it's uncontrollable. And then the body gets back into control again. So you've ran out of top speed and now you've hit a wall. And now it's your speed endurance that's going to let you get a few more strides in. So that's going to be from 60 to 70 meters. This is the point in the race where you think, oh, crap, I really just hope my hips don't buckle. Because there's always a step here where it's like the hips buckle just a bit and you know that you've run out of this energy. You're done. There's nothing else that you can do, all right? So this is speed endurance, all right? And then at 70 meters, you really hit the wall, all right? So now you've gone through this exhaustion twice. The first time was in reaching max speed where you thought you ran out of energy and the body took over and you hit a new rhythm, which is max speed. You hold that for about 10 meters. Then you run out of energy again and you think, oh, crap, I hope I don't fall, all right, and buckle here. And then you hold that for another 10 or 15 meters, all right? And then finally, you reach 0%, and that's at about 80 meters, all right? And this is going to be your special endurance plus your technique. So what is special endurance? That's 300s and 400s, all those repeat over distance runs. That is what allows you to keep your feet up and keep the hips tall while you reach the finish line, all right? Combined with technique, all right? So this last 20 meters feels like in the race, you're standing in place, all right? So this last 20 meters does not feel like you're sprinting towards a finish line. You feel like you're standing in place performing the rotary drill, all right? And this is while you're running 10-3 in the 100-meter dash, all right? And that takes you through the finish line. So now let's look at the work that you do in order to improve in each one of these phases of the race. All right, so when you're first starting off, it's going to be sprint form. All right, sprint form. All right, we're also going to have the short sprints. All right, so 3-point starts. We're also going to have the explosive movements in the weight room. All right, so this is going to be like the power clean. All right, jumps, med ball throws. All of these things are going to help that explosion and that initial burst from the blocks. All right. Now moving on to this transition here. All right, this is going to be, once again, sprint form. All right, we're going to have special endurance. That's going to be your repeat 200s, your repeat 150s, your repeat 300s. All right, which give you the basic stamina and strength to continue with good form. And we're going to have the rest of the weight room. All right, so the squats and the deadlifts and all the bench pressing is going to help you from this phase of the race. All right, through about 60 meters top speed. Now, max speed, this is going to come down to relaxation. That's how you find top speed, because if it's an effort, you're never going to get there, because max speed is the loss of control, which allows your body to reach a new rhythm that can't be attained through your control, all right? And so that is relaxation. Now here we got speed endurance, all right? So speed endurance is going to be 80-meter sprints, 120-meter sprint. That's going to be about the furthest. So we're going to say 80 meters, 90 meters, 100 meters, 110 meters, 120 meters. That's going to be speed endurance. And that is your attempt to extend this, all right? So instead of it being through 60, you're trying to extend that through 70. It's not really going to happen, but that's what it feels like, and you're really going to get to 62 or 63 or 64. But what you're trying to do is extend that speed endurance way out here, which is impossible, but that's what the training is for. And that gives you an extra 10 meters in a real life race. All right, so it is very beneficial. Now moving on to special endurance. Once again, this is going to be the 200 meter repeats, the 250s, the 300s, the 400 meters. All right. So this is what gets you through the end of the race. All right. Combined with the technique. All right. So once again, sprint form. And this is going to be primarily rotary drill, and wickets, all right, and straight legs, all right. And that is it. So of all the work that we do, you can break it down like this, all right. There's going to be 100 more exercises that we could do here. There's going to be 100 variations to the 3-point starts. And there's going to be tons of drills that we could do to improve sprint form. But when we're doing the special endurance and the repeat hundreds and all of this stuff doesn't help this. Because this is what most directly helps the release from the blocks in that first 30 meters. Same thing when we go on to reaching top speed. The sprint form, of course, is important. The 3-point starts are, of course, the power cleans and the jumps and all this stuff is also important, but more importantly for this section of the race is this, all right? And here's where a lot of people mess up. A lot of people can do real good from 0 to 30 because you get some football players that have natural explosive ability and they're going to be pretty good here. And then they're going to get dusted from 30 to 60 because they don't know what to do once they stand up. And so here's where the coaches go wrong. They keep practicing this 30 and then they go to 40 and then they go to 50. And they still never get the results they're looking for because they're not doing it properly. All right, you take them out as far as their form can take them, which is usually 25, 30 meters. And then you start throwing in the 200s and the 250s and the 300s, which teaches their bodies to relax at speed. All right, that's the importance of it because now they're moving through 200 meters and their bodies are forced to relax and learn how to keep a good stride. So now when you return in an attempt to go to 40, now they can hold that good form a little longer. And when you try and go to 50, now they can hold that good form a little longer. But it won't happen if you don't do the over distance work. You'll continue trying to go to 40 and 50 and 60, just a pure direct line of top speed, and they'll get injured. Or they won't make progress and they'll start backtracking. And it's because you don't understand how it all comes together, how the body works in cycles, all right, to get stronger and get weaker and ultimately adapt, all right? And so this is the proper way to do it. Take them out through their acceleration phase, and then their form is going to break down, and that's when you know, okay, now it's time to start doing these 200s and 300s, and we'll come back to the 40s in a few weeks, and you'll see an enormous improvement. All right. So this is the special endurance. All right. And this is the bench pressing and the heavy squatting and the front squatting and all that good stuff. All right. Now, relaxation is going to be a combination of all of this. So you've done the repeat 200s and you're comfortable running 25 seconds in sneakers, back to back to back to back to back. It's easy, easy, easy. And you can get out and maintain 100% with good sprint form through about 40, 50 meters. Now it's about executing and allowing your body to relax while you're actually performing the sprint works, and you can ultimately unlock this, all right? And this is an unlocking because this is you deciding mentally and consciously to trust yourself enough to reach a speed that you can't physically control. And that's when you get to max speed, all right? And then you have to stay there a few weeks because you really have to ingrain that, all right? And then you take time off to let your body recover. And then you come back and you're going to skip the max speed and you're going to go straight to speed endurance. So this would be like after the indoor season. So this max speed training can get you through the end of indoors. Now you're going to start preparing for the 110 meter hurdles and 200s and 100s and 4x4s. And you can start with speed endurance and hurdle endurance, which we will get into. And then you continue moving on. All right. And so this is a brief overview of how it works. We're going to get into the details and the specifics as we go learning here. But this is where we're still at. We're still moving through 30 meters here in practice as of October 24th. All right. We're doing some 200s because we're starting to transition to start looking for max speed in November. All right. But right now, that's not where we're at. So we don't have the video for that yet. All right. And so this is an overview. We're going to go into the details of absolutely all of this in this sprint hurdle system 1299. All right. Now, moving on from the speed. All right. What happens when there are hurdles here? Nothing changes. Here's what happens. The finish line moves 10 meters. All right. And all of this just gets extended 10 meters from here onward. All right, that's it. This moves down further. This moves down further. But this never changes. It doesn't matter what distance. All right, because your body's only capable of producing max intensities for 6 or 7 seconds, which gets you to about 60 meters if you're fast. All right. And then from then on, it's the same thing in the hurdles. So this would be 5 hurdles here, 6 hurdles. All right, the 6th hurdle is going to be 60 meters. At that point, you can't run any faster. It's about your technique. It's about the repeat 200s that you've done. It's about the repeat hurdle work that you've done, and it's about your hurdle technique. So from the 6th hurdle to the finish line is going to be about your stamina and your ability to keep good form, but nothing changes. It is still about the angle and the block release through the first 3 hurdles. All right. It is still about trying not to stand up fully as you approach max speed and you lock into that rhythm. All right. And then at the end of the race, it's holding on just like it is in the 100-meter dash. So nothing changes here. Absolutely nothing changes. The only difference is the finish line gets extended 10 meters. All right, and so the race should feel like a scream, and the race should feel like a running out of energy. You get up to full speed, you use all of your energy by 60, and from here on, it's a prayer. And it's hoping that your stamina keeps you up, and it's hoping that your sprint form keeps you from falling and keeps you in good form. All right, because there's nothing you can do to run faster after 60 meters. All right, we will go into a lot more details this season. Questions, comments, let me know. Coach Cotto signing out. Run faster, make them chase you. Pull the toes up. Open the hands up. You feel the tension at the hands and at the ankles. Come on, let's go. Toes up. Toes up, toes up, toes up. Come on, feel that dorsiflexion. Put the foot down. I was real lazy. Let's be crisp, man. Don't be lazy, be crisp. Put the foot down. You should feel bouncy. The stride should feel big. You should feel airtime. It's not get a lot of little steps in. It's get as many few big steps in as possible, all right? Come on, man. Toes up. Bounce. Feel the bounce. Put the foot down. Don't pick the foot up. Put the foot down. Come on. Put it down. Bigger. 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 Good. I did. That was better. What's next? Hey, man, you decided until we lift weights to stretch, so that's on you. You had all yesterday to stretch. And all the day before yesterday to stretch, too. Well, you don't think about it till it's time to lift weights again, and guess what? Now you all sore. What's next? Let's go, rotary. On you. Come on. Put those hands back harder. It should be the same intensity. Arm swinging back and a knee drive up. Keep the toe up. Lock the knee out. Come on, faster, more aggressive. Come on. Pick that toe up. That toe's hanging. Let's go high knees, go. Come on, come on. Yeah, lazy. You need to exaggerate on warm-ups so that when it's time to sprint, you don't feel like you're still warming up, man. And that's the problem we be having. You want to be lazy with the drill, so now it's time to do the sprint work, and guess what? You're still warming up because you didn't use the warm-up properly. Exaggerate the movements. Don't take the easy way out. Take the hard way out to make sure you're warmed up. Come on, let's get one more. Crisp, man, crisp. The lazy ones don't get you better, man. You're just wasting your time. Should be crisp. Bah, bah, switch, switch, quick, quick. Aggressive, man. Hit those elbows back. Pull that ankle up to dorsiflex. Keep the straight leg on the supporting leg. That leg should not be bending. Everything is done from the ankle up. Come on, let's go. Come on, pull the abs in position. Keep the hands open. Toe up. Slow it down. Freeze frame it. Lock that left knee out. That knee should not be dropping, bro. That knee should not be dropping. Lock the knee out. Pick the knee up. Knee on the ground locks out. The other knee as high as possible. Aggressive arms when we transition, man. Don't be lazy. We're just going to do it again. Pick the toes up. Let's go high knees. Come on. Aggressive. Aggressive. Swing the arms. Yeah. Take a breather. We're going to get some arm swings. Then we're going to get the standing starts. You get a little stretching in, then we will get started. We're at the track. We have 3 sets of 3 by 30 meters plus 70 meters. So the cone is at the track at 30 meters. It's going to be an all-out sprint to 30 from a 3-point stance, and then we're jogging / trotting down to the 100-meter line. As long as he doesn't walk, it's okay. Turn around and we go again. So 30 meters is 100%, so we can execute. All right, well, we're looking to execute for these first 30. And then we're working in a little bit of conditioning by just getting the trot and the jog to the finish line. All right, so we were in great shape back in March, and then you know what happened. He's been sitting at home. We picked up a lot of mass, but right now it's slowing us down. He's very strong, so we need to be chopping down this weight. And this is the way that we're safely going about it. All right, 30s plus 70s. Next session, we'll go a little further. Once I see his legs are back, he's not flat, we'll start doing real quote-unquote sprint workouts. All right, what's next? What's next? All right, let's get some standing starts. Stand into the cone, you're falling. Falling start. You're focused on feeling the sensation of falling. If you fight it, then guess what? We're not doing what we're supposed to do. Feel like you're falling on your face. Don't worry about the technique. Fall, 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 fall. That was good. Now let's fall more. Let's fall more. Walk all the way back. I need to, for a split second, feel like you're going to face plant. And if that's not there, then guess what? The angle's not there. And that's something that you have to know as you warm up. If you're warming up for a freaking track meet, you need to get that angle there. Because when it's time to race, you can't think about any of that. If you are thinking about it, you're racing for second place at best. That's how it works, all right? Let's fall more. Let's think less. Let the arms move into position as they do on instinct without you having to think your way through it. More fall. Don't try and go forward, Lewis. Try to stand in place and fall on your face and allow the form to come as it does. Take a breather. Going again. More forward lean, more falling sensation. Bigger arm drive, more aggressive arm drive. Come on, let's go putting it together. Inhale as you fall. So you can exhale when you start moving. More fall, Lewis. Right in place, on your face. It's a little better. A little better. Did you bring the football? All right, well, next we got standing starts. Same thing. Now I want you to get to that good forward angle as soon as you start moving, all right? It doesn't switch up just because you're in a standing start. Just like when we go to 3-point, you have to find that forward angle immediately, all right? That was good. You feeling warm? Your arms opening up a little more? All right, that's what the warm-up does. Yeah, because we ain't running how long? You've been out here doing the freaking out-of-shape workouts, man. We need to get away from those. We need to get back to more short sprints, man. Short sprints and plyos. So this fall and winter, man, you can get crazy explosive, bro. You need to be dunking on everybody by the end of this year, man. By the end of 2020, you need to be dunking all vertical right underneath the basket. Bro, doesn't matter. You're freaking 6 foot. 5'11". You about to be 6 foot by the summertime, so you can stop with the excuses, bro. Curry don't give excuses. You see him go out there and dunk sometimes. He's only 6'3". Oh, well, hey, man, he can dunk. And he don't make excuses about not being tall enough. Spud Webb ain't make excuses. He went out there and won dunk contest at 5'7". He did 360 in the NBA competition. Freaking won. It's the end of it. Let's go. Let's go. Stand and start. Good receiver stance, man. None of that weak stuff. Come on. Good forward lean. Use the arm. Sit. Huh. Gotta work on the arm swing and running. That's it. Everything else he does a decent job with when he puts it together. What do you say? One more standing start, or are you ready to get started? All right, let's go. 3-point stance. It's 100%, Lewis. If you're not using max energy, then guess what? You're doing it wrong. And if you can't use max energy for 30 meters, then guess what? We got to switch the workout out and go do freaking 2-3 laps at a time. So it's going to be on you, man. If you run lazy, I will give you lazy, long over distance workouts. All right? So if you want to be out here running 4 laps at a time on Thursday, then you go ahead and run these as lazy as you want. If you want to be a speed demon and improve your acceleration, then you take these serious, man. 3-point stance, inhale at the set position. As soon as you move, you're chasing the sensation of falling, okay? Don't think about how to sprint. Chase the sensation of falling and use max intensity all the way through the finish line. You can trot, you can jog to the 100-meter mark, just don't walk. That's on you when you're ready. You're falling forward and you're using max intensity, Lewis. You're not thinking about how to sprint. Let's go, on you. Huh? 3-point stance. As soon as you move, you're chasing the sensation of falling, Lewis. Feel like you're falling and let your legs and your arms catch up to that feeling. Come on, let's go. On you, inhale that set. You're falling, Lewis. Through the cone, you got plenty of space. Let's go. Nice and easy through the line. Run all the way through. All right, so nice and easy. And so through the repetitions and through the next few sessions, it's going to go cleaning up a lot. All right, so today it's going to look like he's a football player who's trying to run fast, which is what he is. After we get a few consistent weeks, it's going to clean up and he'll start looking like a true sprinter like he was back in March before, you know, we had the whole shutdown. All right, so little by little, you will see the progress. So it's okay if your athletes look flat, like they are not sprinters when they start. That is expected because no one is just born a freaking natural sprinter. That was all right. The angle was decent, but we need more intensity, man. It's like you go to 90 and you think 90 is enough. And guess what? 90 is good for like 4th place. Because what would 90 get you in a classroom? Just barely an A, right? And guess what? You know who gets the gold medal in the classroom if it's track? The guy who gets 100. The guy who gets 90 gets 4th place. The guy who gets 95, guess what place he gets? 3rd. And guess what the guy who got a 98 get? 2nd. Make sense? Only person who wins is the guy that gets 100, bro. So you need to be out here moving at 100 or you're not training to be the fastest. Does that make sense, Lewis? Next rep, bro. As soon as you release to sprint, it's an exhale and it's moving as frantic as possible. Does that make sense? Don't think about how, man. We learn how little by little. Just be frantic, 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 frantic until you cross that line, and then you can ease up. Catch your breath. Got 2 more, and then we get a little extra rest. Did you bring spikes? You won't need them. You running like that, why would we put spikes on, right? Won't make no sense, doggy. So I will show 2 more reps, which will be the complete first round, and then I'll end it so you guys ain't sitting here bored watching the same thing over and over. Lewis, your job is to find the sensation of falling and use max intensity. Not sprint right, not sprint fast, not have your arms this way or that way. There's 2 cues. Number 1, you're finding the sensation of falling as far down the track as you can. And number 2 is what? What's number 2? Bro, max intensity. I don't care about the swing. You need to be until you cross the line. Does that make sense? Come on, man, let's go. It's intensity, Lewis. It's not how to do it. Just use all of your energy. It's that simple. Let's go. 30 meters. Inhale that set. Exhale. Max intensity, Lewis. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Swing. 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 Yeah. A little better. All right, so you guys are seeing that the movement, he's probably trying, but it's just not very intense. And that is the extra 20 pounds that we have put on, all right? And so the good thing is we got video so you can see the difference, all right? What does 20 pounds of extra weight do? Even if you get the extra strength, all right? Completely different sprinting, completely different movement patterns. So that is our objective this fall and winter. Take that weight off. That was better. 1 more. Now let's be more crisp with the arms. All right? Intensity through that arm swing. Frantic, bro. If you're at 99%, you're not using enough energy. Does that make sense? The only energy that counts is 100%. Everything else will eventually meet an athlete who's simply trying harder. That makes sense? Even if he's not faster, if he's trying harder, you're going to give him a freaking chance, bro. 1 more, then you take a break. And we will get 2 more rounds and we will be done. So this is 3 sets of 30 plus 70. That's 1 round. Then we rest and repeat it twice for the entire workout. I know you're not tired, man. From those 30 meters of about 90%, bro. If you can give me 1 at 100%, then it'll be okay, like if you huff and puff every now and then. But when you're out here running at 85%, dog, there's no reason to be huffing and puffing. You need to find a higher intensity, all right? So whatever that intensity was on this last rep, you need to find a new max. So if that was at 99%, you need to let loose and let 100% come about. If you're trying, you're not running your fastest. Does that make sense? Don't try, just be at your absolute fastest energy. Most intense energy. Don't be big, don't be fast, don't be thinking about the freaking movements. It's intensity what we're after here, all right? We clean up the movements when we do sprint drills and when we do the tempo runs. Today, you need to learn how to find a new max energy, Lewis. That's it. It needs to be, look, all the way through the line, bro. It never eases up. Last one, we get a break. Come on, let's go. Come on, doggy, last one. Frantic, bro. I don't care about the movements, and we're not even timing it, man. Frantic all the way through the line. Better. All right, guys, that was the end of one round. All we're going to do is take a break and repeat it twice more. 3 times for 30 meters plus 70 meters is one round. We take a break. This is to work on his acceleration and get a bit of conditioning in by getting in the extra 70 meters, all right? Over time, when his first 30 looks like a true sprinter, then we will start switching the workout up, all right? So then it'll probably be 40 meters plus a little run through. Then eventually we'll take away the run through altogether because that conditioning isn't really getting us in better shape, and they'll just be flat out sprints, walk back, so on and so forth, all right? So it's a process, especially when they don't know how to sprint like true sprinters yet. We will be back Thursday around 4 o'clock. We'll see you then.